tough for the boys, I think.
Yeah, so the boys definitely not having that game experience so far today might be a little bit of a burden. But as you mentioned, Afterthought not going to be moving forward with Shock. It might change things a little bit in their team coordination, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we will see. Game number 1 underway here. Oh man, Trey right out the gate here for the boys. Looks like he had an open net potential. And it does look like actually one thing to note is that the boys are playing with their sub, who would be normal times. So we'll see if that works out for them. Shock here for Afterthought. Looks to the center, going to be D-Bank though, wins that through to Trey. Up off that backboard, Trey gets another touch, going to keep it away from the defenders. And now that double commit means it may be an open net here coming for D-Bank, but Shock with an unbelievable save, but not enough. Too many opportunities, rebound, score.
All right, Trey, I'm going to let you score this one, but I have to shout out Shock for that. D-Bank went in for the bump, and he did not care. He said, all right, well, I'll just come off the top of it and make this save then. Fine, we'll play your way. That's just Shock for you.
Man, it is Shock indeed. I think the offense was shocked that that did not go in, but ultimately the boys with the first goal on the board here. So good on them to come out strong after we doubted them a little bit. So nice play there. Trey now for the boys. Looking to the center for D-Bank. D-Bank can't get that. That means Hoxer's going to put up off the backboard, and that clear going to be, oh my God, I can't talk. Here I am talking about the clear. I thought that was a goal for sure. How did that stay out?
This is clearly going to be the game of defense, I think. That is ridiculous. Absolutely. We're going straight to ludicrous defense at this point.
Man.
I mean, they've gone into plate at this point.
That was unreal there. Keeping this game at 1-0, but now another chance here for Zol. He's in the air, gets the double, and now Shock looking over to Hoxer, but great read from Normal, and he's going to put that one on. Talk about a steal there.
Absolutely well done there from Normal Times, cutting off the passing lane. We've been talking about that a couple of times. Strong points from Regalia. We're cutting off the passing lane, and Normal Times want to keep that up. Is he like a skyline? Am I seeing that right? Interesting card choice.
Yeah, I want it to be a breakout, to be honest with you, but it's not. So I'm a breakout user. I love it. Wow, the boys, I gotta say, I am impressed with how they've come out in this game.
My God.
But also impressed by the plays that Afterthought are thinking up. They're looking to the center a lot. First one that works out for them, but it's a beauty.
Absolutely a beauty. And Hoxer, again, these players, we've seen this as like a common theme. There's nobody playing in the net. You don't have to set it off the crossbar and in. You don't have to put it in the upper 90, but they just do.
That's the training pack.
It's just practice.
That's just training pack after training pack. What can I say?
And this experience at such a high level.
Yeah, it really is. This is now where the boys have to try to continue to just push. They cannot get back on their heels because that will spell disaster against a team like Afterthought. Good hit there from Normal. Pushes the ball all the way down into Afterthought's zone. It's Normal again, going to follow up. Shock looking for that clear, going to go up off the ceiling. That means now D-Bank has a piece. Looks for the second touch and gets just enough to keep this play alive, but good read there by Hoxer, down and through, allowing the clear there for Afterthought.
And a great cutoff once again from Normal Times. Shock was prepared for that pass in the midfield, had an open line on the net. But Normal Times just said, you know what, instead of playing on the goal line, I'm just gonna not even let you shoot, and now they have the offense once again. That aggressive positioning is working wonders for them.
Yeah, I'm impressed so far how the boys have been able to compete here. But as we say it, they move downfield and can't get back on defense. Zol starts the play off, Shock in the middle, and Zol with the finish.
And an interesting play as well, following so closely to your teammate, and a great bump from Shock as well, getting the third man out of the net, opens it right up for Zol. Hey, quality play coming from Afterthought, even with a player that they didn't play the last, they didn't play a WSOE with.
Yeah, but I mean, like we said, they had success. They obviously won a monthly to get here, so we know that they have the skill. And just like that, that lead from the boys has evaporated. Afterthought continue to press this pressure. They're going to need to get down. Normal Times does make a save on that. Trey, oh! Trey. Why you got to do it?
You know you're a quality player when you can break 4 axles at the same time. Look at that. Absolute masterwork. My goodness.
Wow. Yeah, that is one for the highlight reel for Trey because he made both defenders look absolutely silly.
2 minutes and 22 though to go. Still plenty of opportunity for either team to really make an impact on this game.
Yeah, and oh, look at this. Hoxer looks for the flipped reset, doesn't get it. Trey had that goal downfield and now gets the stop down in his end. This lead from the boys certainly unexpected here as Afterthought are being put to the test. Here's now Shock for Afterthought into the center. He's going to put that ball down. Normal clears it over to the side. Zolhe up and over, but now here's Normal again. I tell you what, he's a sub, but I am just seeing all kinds of play here for Normal. Great job by him so far of adjusting. Really, Trey and Normal both doing a really good job. I'd like to see their third D-Bank get a little bit more into play.
3 or 4 super subs I'm thinking of right now. We got Turbo Pulsa over 0, Raw Greg for triple commit, and Normal Times is looking fairly solid right here. So I have to echo that sentiment, and they maintain the lead right here. The boys, again, definitely not the favorites coming into this one, but here they are. They are absolutely dominating right here on the offense.
Yeah, going to be hard to root against them if they win this game. They may be gaining some fans out there. Here's now the boys continue with this offensive pressure. Can Zolhe get it out? That's not going to be enough as it's to the center, but Shock reads the play, looks for Zol again. But again, really good offensive press here for the boys. Zol down into the boys' zone. Good clear to the side. Now the ball going to bounce up and over. Normal, though, gets that there. Going to need some help from D-Bank. He does. Good job keeping that ball out of danger.
Normal Times got bumped on the goal line and did not care. Absolutely wonderful play from this man, keeping at the midfield line there as well. And D-Bank's going to be able to carry it out. The boys with solid defense and some solid offense. That one's looking towards the net.
Yeah, great play by D-Banks. He just carries through the entire field, gives his team field position. Now it is D-Bank going to go up off that ceiling to Normal. Normal looking for that, can't get it, but the press here stays for the boys. They've done a great job of nullifying the offense of Afterthought, keeping them at bay. Normal has Trey in the center, going to go off the wall, but no, great read. Shock too quick. Puts that ball down and on. Keeps the defense of the boys honest, but with just 17 seconds to go, they got to keep it going here. Can Afterthought get a goal? Now here is Zol for Afterthought. Pressing, but really great read by Trey. Coming out of that net, despite all that pressure, they're keeping it to the corners. This is exactly what you want for the boys. And now as the ball is rolling, it is going to go. What a upset in game number 1. I mean, I cannot believe that. I mean, it's really those 2 quick goals. They got those 2 quick goals, and that put them in a great position to win.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. And we've seen game 1 taken by RBG in their match against Sway Esports. Now it's up to the boys. Can they put our first monthly winner down into the lower bracket? We have all of our monthly winners moving on so far, except for this one right here. We haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it yet, but it still might be possible depending on how Afterthought are able to bring things back under control. We saw a lot out of them after the first few minutes of play. Those first 2 goals, as you mentioned, crucial for the boys to try and keep themselves above water in that first game. But what are your guys' thoughts of how Afterthought can bounce back after we've seen them do time and time again in other tournaments?
I think it was more the way the boys were playing, if I'm being honest. They had some really big saves. I mean, you could see 7 saves on the board, and Afterthought had the shots. That's 9 shots for them. Honestly, I just like the way the boys played. For Afterthought, they probably don't need to change a whole lot.
I personally, I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Do it. I saw where that was going.
I have to disagree with you. I do agree that the boys played phenomenally. Of course, you can't take away from that. But for Afterthought, there were a couple of spots where they were playing a little bit too close to each other, in my opinion. The Trey dribble goal is one that I'm thinking of. Of course, he was able to get it around 2 defenders at the same time, but it makes you question, should they have been in the same spot? Yeah,
that is true. So now here's their chance, right? If Afterthought feel that they were maybe didn't get a good shake on that last one, here's their chance to show it. Right now, right out the gate is offense here for the boys, as they have a quick shot starting off right where they left in that previous game. Shock off the sidewall over to Zol. Zol gonna look for the double. Can he get it? No! The chance was there. The net was wide open. It's not an easy play, but unfortunately Zol not able to get that one.
Good defense, and now the boys looking for a counter. Great touch, shots off the crossbar, and the finish. No, it's Shock to come across the net. Outstanding defense at the opening of game 1, and outstanding defense at the opening of game number 2.
Yeah, really great save there for Shock, keeping this scoreless, and that's huge for Afterthought, because you know they don't want to go down like they did in game 1. Outlet feed, looking for Trey. He's going to wait it out, can't get it past Hoxer. But D-Bank able to get it through. Zolhe waits patiently in the middle, looks for that win. Oh, gets it past, but Trey bails him out on that goal line.
Very nice play on the defense, but a very nice play from Zolhe as well. If we can see more ones plays and maybe some more passing plays, Afterthought, they've been looking pretty solid on the offense so far. They just need to wrap it up.
Yeah, definitely looking good, making the adjustments necessary. Hoxer comes through with a demo on Trey. That means the offensive chance for the boys is gone and done with. Back downfield, that goal here is Zolhe. Looks to the goal there. Trey clears it to the center, but no, the pressure just too much here for Afterthought. Love the way that they're reading these clears.
And a great pass from Shock over to Zolhe. Couldn't find its way through. Solid defense from the Boyz, but they remain on the offensive end. Makes you wonder, maybe they're spacing out just that little bit more that the Boyz have enough time to react. Is that change going to be enough?
Yeah, right now, though, the pressure here for Afterthought. Another quick shot there coming with D-Bank making the save. Hoxer up off the back wall and the ceiling. Can Zolhe get it? He does, and he's also got Shock in the middle, and he finishes. What a great series of passing plays. The control just too much here for the Boyz.
I don't think I have to say it again. Great placement. It looked like normal time's just a little bit low on boost and had to try and read that one. And when Shock's got the whole net to shoot at, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to make that pre-jump save. So a very good lead take, I guess, for Afterthought with 1 at 3 minutes.
Yeah, the first lead now for them as they see if they can get a couple more goals on the board. A 1-0 lead, obviously very uncomfortable, especially when we've seen that the Boyz can score as well. Here's Shock now for Afterthought, looking for the second touch, can't get it past Trey. Trey over and up and off the top there, but not able to finish. No one there to the center. Clear out. Zolhe looking for that, can't get it. Instead, it's going to be Shock. Ball goes down, though, and back out to Normal. Normal had a chance to put that ball on net. Really a good spot to be in, but not able to connect.
Yeah, good in philosophy, not quite so on paper. Now, a bit of an awkward play here in front of the net. But for the Boyz, I do like the idea. Maybe they just need to get set on offense, get that first foot, and see if they can push forward with it.
Yeah, it still looked pretty good, and obviously they got that advantage of having that Game 1 win. He can still play fairly comfortable. Only down 1 here's normal times for the Boyz. He's got D-Bank through the center looking to disrupt. He does finally get a piece of a defender. That means the Boyz are going to still play up on this. Shock, oh, what another great play from Shock. I tell you what, he has been so good for Afterthought.
Pretty textbook play there on the wall, and of course you can count on him to make it every single time, but the Boyz now pushing further and further onto the offensive half. They're getting a good run here.
Yeah, they're starting to press, looking for that goal. This may be it now as Trey. Oh, can't find that angle, but the clear comes out right to normal times. He follows up on the rebound. We are back to a tie game.
Bit of a missed redirect earlier for normal times. Comes right back with the good positioning right here on that one. Straight to the center of the net, but nobody home.
I gotta laugh, too, that D-Bank was right there. Normal said, you know, I'm just gonna jump on over you. Let me just cash in on this.
I mean, that's the kind of faith you gotta have at this high level. And if you're able to say, like, oh yeah, I have confidence that he's not gonna get in there and interrupt my shot, that's really good coordination.
Yeah, definitely. Good pressure there. We mentioned that this super sub is playing really good, and normal time showing it there with that goal, but now they're back downfield. Defense here for the Boyz. Shock, though, not able to keep that ball in. Instead, it's going to be back downfield. Zolhe keeps it moving, though. Shock over off the back wall, looking to the side, over in the right wing. Doesn't have a player, though, and that means Normal's going to be up and over. He's got all 3 players to beat. It's going to be a tough one. Good read and carry there for Normal. A couple of these slow, cheeky plays for the Boyz, but they're working out, giving them a little bit of field presence. Good thing for the Boyz there. That one was offline, but that clear going to come right out to Shock. Can he get the double? No, doesn't have the boost to get it. That means the ball going to be back downfield. D-Bank looking for Trey in the center. Trey, though, the accuracy just not there. Good setup, passing play, but not able to put it on.
And you could tell he wanted the double tap on that one, but an unfortunate bounce made it send away. But it does make Afterthought respect your plays moving forward. It's still a tie game. Anybody can take it at this point.
Yeah, next goal may decide this, could decide the entire series, as of course Afterthought have their backs against the wall. They cannot give up a goal here, but they're back on defense. Shock to the center. Hoxer reads and clears that one through. D-Bank over to the side, but Shock there again. He's going to put that one down, and Normal slows it, but not enough as Zolhe just waiting. Normal definitely going to want that one back.
Normal's going to want that one back, but at the same time, he was just hoping that he was going to buy enough time for his teammates, and unfortunately, they weren't there. We saw it once earlier with the 50-50 and Zolhe right in front of the net, and Trey did have a moment to get back there, just unfortunately didn't have it right there. Key goal for Afterthought, though, with 17 seconds remaining. Can the Boyz get back in this one?
They will need a goal, and they'll need one in a hurry, getting down to just the 10-second mark here in this game. Here's now Trey for the Boyz. Looks for the ceiling, but no, has D-Bank there as well. Good comms as they keep this ball moving, but Hoxer reads that and pushes it all the way down with that shot and goal as well. He adds insult to injury. Afterthought have tied this series up.
Very nicely done, and Hoxter says, all right, well, we could just kill the ball and win the game, but I want a little bit more than that. Good placement on that one.
Come on, pad those stats, am I right?
Pad the stats for Hoxter.
Definitely.
But I mean, speaking of padding stats, Shock on the defense. VOD, how many saves did he have?
Are you counting?
He had so many saves, back to back
So
to
many.
back, every single time. 4 in total for his team, basically carrying them at the back end towards their defensive line, and he was able to keep that up for that entire game and kept them in this one as well because of how close Trey, D-Bank, and Normal Times were trying to keep it on offense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Shock definitely the MVP of that game there. Just felt like he was everywhere. Everywhere they needed him to be. It seemed like open ball to the wing. There's Shock. They need a big save. There's Shock. This guy's everywhere.
Yeah, for me, it feels like, okay, well, Shock, he's everywhere. When he's on his own half, he gets a 1.5 times boost to the amount of boost that he has. He's just that good. He's like, okay, well, shot towards the net. Well, I'm guessing Shock's pretty close to the ball because it's not going in. Not if he's on the clock.
No, some great plays from him, that's for sure. And great plays in general from Afterthought. That was a chance for the boys. I mean, that was a glorious chance to put one of the best teams in the tournament down into the lower bracket. But we'll see if they can make some adjustments like we saw from Afterthought, because the boys are not... I didn't... How do I put this? I didn't have a lot of faith in them coming in, but I'm starting to become a fan.
Yes.
I think everyone's going to be a fan after the way we've seen them so far, especially with the boys almost pulling off the upset. They could have gotten the 2-game victory against Afterthought, but they're going to have to do a lot more than that going into this next one. What are your guys' thoughts on their odds going into potential lower bracket if they get knocked down by Afterthought?
Well, I'm liking it. I mean, obviously, you can't like it too much. You're facing off against upper 90, but I am liking it. Seeing what they can do against Afterthought here, that's a testament.
Yeah, it truly is. Maybe before this series, I would have said maybe not looking that great for them. But honestly, I really like the way the boys are playing, especially when they're a little cold, too. This is their first match of the evening.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Now I wish even more that we'd seen the match between the Peeps and the boys, because that would have been a phenomenal one to watch. But they're here now, so I suppose you got to give them right away.
Hey, we do have this match on the field, and that's Afterthought versus the boys. Just as good, right? So I'm excited about it, and we're about to hop into game number 2. And honestly, this is really anyone's game. Game number 3. Sorry, game number 3. We knew that. We knew that. I saw your look on your face there. Sorry, we haven't had many game 3s. I'm not used to it.
I mean, they went off script. Obviously, we were supposed to be in game 2, but unfortunately, we're here. Game number 3. I mean, it was supposed to be the day of sweeps, but RBG wasn't having that, and I guess the boys aren't having that one either. Well, the boys are Afterthought, depending on who loses. And again, I have to stress that Afterthought are the last monthly champion who have yet to move on into the winner semifinal. So if they lose out here, they're going to be the odd man out, and they're going to be feeling a little bit left out down there in the lower bracket.
Yeah, but we've seen some good lower bracket runs throughout Rocket League too, so would not be surprised if they're able to do that. Exactly.
What?
So
Are you okay?
many lower bracket runs.
I didn't say anything. That wasn't me.
Okay.
That was probably somebody else.
Nice.
In all reality, yeah, we got to give a huge round of applause for the boys. They performed so solidly in that last game and the game before that. For Afterthought now, it's really it's hard to say. Who do I favor moving into this one? Because I've said before that coming off the loss gives you more chance to adapt. But, I mean, coming off a win also gives you more momentum moving into the next match.
But we do have them taking a little bit of a breather before we get into this next one. So that might be what the boys need to kind of cool their jets, rein things in, and then get underway with that third matchup, which Trey, Normal Times, and D-Bank, they've been looking quite solid so far, I'd have to say, especially Trey and Normal Times. Trey on offense, Normal Times on defense, working in synergy. Oh, who do you think is really the breakout player for Afterthought so far? Probably Shock?
I would agree, yeah. Shock has played really, really well. I mean, we've been calling him out. Anytime you say a guy's name, you could just assume he's doing well, right? Because there's a reason you keep talking about him.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with you on that one. Shock, obviously the standout player. But if we're talking like breakout, first thing I think of is offense, and obviously that's not the only definition of breakout, but on that end, I really liked seeing Zolhe move downfield because we saw him as the striker receiving a couple of passes here and there, 50-50s in key spots, forcing it onto the offensive end. So he was kind of playing that playmaker role where he could fit in just about anywhere. We said that the same about Shock, to be fair, but at the same time, Zolhe definitely one of the players to watch out for me.
And even if we didn't see Shock, Zolhe, and Hoxer in WSOE, they are still proving themselves so far by having the mental fortitude to get all the way through that second game and make it into the third and potentially get the victory so that all 4 of the monthly champions move on to the winner semifinals, and all the 8 challengers are going to be waiting down in losers round 1, which will be starting off tomorrow as well.
That would make the tournament organizers look really, really good. I just have to say. It's like,
probably.
Yes, we planned this quite well.
Yeah, I mean, I actually posted my personal predictions bracket before we started, and
Here we go. Here we go. How you doing?
What?
Is that what you're getting at? Or are you doing quite well?
I don't want to talk about it. But we have game number 3. Let's just move on
All
to
right,
that
that's
one.
fine. I'd rather talk about that than
my
how
March
well
Madness
Squid is
bracket.
doing. Yes,
Yeah.
that's for sure. I know that both teams doing very well in the field, pushing this to a game number 3, and I would expect that goals may not come as quick as before, as saves should be made.
I'm not sure if that's the case. I want to watch this one again. I believe Hoxer, after faking that second touch, actually went and hit D-Bank instead. Absolutely phenomenal play. We've seen the term coined by Squishy, the air bump, the strategy, and well, I guess that's one way to put it.
I felt cheated on that. The angle just wasn't there. But you are right. That was a absolute fabulous play. Oh man, what a start for Afterthought, and what a play out the gate. Now here is Zol coming through, gets demoed, but keeps the ball down. Shock for Afterthought, looks for Hoxer, back against that back wall, can't make that play. Afterthought coming out really strong here on the offensive side of the ball. Trey to the center, but that's right where Hoxer is, and he's got Shock as well. Another quick shot coming from them. Afterthought, wow, this may be where the boys needed to take that game too, because Afterthought are looking really good.
Yeah, they are looking pretty strong. The boys managing their defensive line right now, but it's going to take a little bit of effort to push down on the other end, and that might be a bit of an awkward one. Zolhe will be there to bail out his teammate.
Can't keep the ball out, though, as the pressure now here for the boys. There's D-Bank looking to the center, but Trey all the way back downfield. Oh, man, despite waiting for that, Zol just going to get right up into his grill. But only for a moment, as now the ball's right back into center. Here's Zol yet again. Kicks it through, and another attempt at a clear. Interesting style here for Afterthought. Not a whole lot of pressure from them. They may have seen something in the boys that we haven't.
Yeah, and actually we are just noting that the boys playing a man down, unfortunately. Seems there was an issue, but they're holding on just fine. D-Bank garnering himself a couple of saves right there. And again, holding on to that defensive line, even though they're playing that man down.
You know, they're playing so good on defense, I didn't even notice they're playing with a man down. That's
Honestly,
how good they're actually doing. I'm not sure how long they've been down a man, but they are doing a great job of clogging the box right now and keeping these shots out. Just absolutely fantastic in this situation where they're down. I mean, it's an odd man situation for every press. Hoxer, though, up off that back wall, maybe too much as the shot, though, to the side. That first one not in, but Zolhe cleans up. Unfortunate situation for the boys, and Afterthought ready to take advantage.
And D-Bank going off the top of the goal right there, actually recognizing the potential bump from Hoxer. Obviously, after that first play, he wanted to give as much respect to the physical play as possible. And then, obviously, Zol for the cleanup, a player that I pointed out just before we started the match to look out for. He's there, gets the second goal of the game.
Yeah, looking really, really good. Does Zol, hopefully for the boys, they can get their player back in, because this is not a situation they want to be in. But I tell you what, they have been making some unbelievable plays just to keep it close. Save there from Trey, but unfortunately, it's just so hard to try and do anything about this.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing that man down, you can make outstanding saves left and right, but eventually it's going to send you out and away from the box. So unfortunately, he was unable to make it happen. But that's just the way that it is sometimes. And Afterthought with a 3-0 lead, as it seems we've taken a bit of a pause in the middle of that one.
Yeah, we'll try and get that third man into the match so that they can play as evenly as possible. We saw how close the first two matches were, so I'm sure the last one, they want to be as close as possible. But why don't we talk about how well Trey and D-Bank were doing on defense through that whole debacle they were having?
I don't actually know when normal left. That's how good they were playing on defense. It was just seemed like normal defensive plays.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting to the point where I was looking at it and I was like, wait a second, where is normal times in the rotation? I don't see them anywhere.
If you hadn't mentioned, I don't know that I would have noticed.
I don't think so
That's
either.
how good they were doing.
I was close to saying, like, I must be imagining something, right? I mean, the boys obviously such a solid defensive line. If they had such a solid defensive line 100% of the time, then oh my goodness, I can't imagine what's going on.
Imagine how it would be with normal times as well. You guys both mentioned it before that normal times was one of the most prominent figures on defense for the boys. And when he wasn't there, he was still giving them his energy on defense because they were just putting up so much pressure, trying to keep the ball away from their goal line as long as possible. But, you know, eventually when you're playing 2v3, it kind of falls that way that you get scored on a few times. Yeah,
it's a tough situation for any team to be in. Obviously, with just 3 players on the field, if you lose one of them, you're down quite a bit from your normal situation. So, yeah, I am hoping to see that the boys can maybe get him back in this game because this has been a really, really great matchup so far.
Yeah, and I was actually just about to mention mentioned that. It's great that we can do that because the boys taking game number 1 and then keeping game number 2 very close. I mean, this is really nice to see because, well, we haven't had exactly too many game 3s so far today. So it's nice to see once in a while where we do move on into that scenario. And we do want to make it as fair as possible for the boys who put in so much effort to get here. Of course, they did get past round 1 fairly easily, but they worked their way to get to these top 12 teams and make it all the way to the February finals. So we want to give them as fair a fight as they can get.
Oh, yeah, definitely, especially when they're putting up such a good fight against Afterthought. Yeah, so you don't want to, you never want to go down like this. Yeah. That's for sure. But honestly, even in those first couple games, no matter what happens here, I think we've seen something out of the boys that I don't know that any of us expected.
Yeah, we expected them to kind of get 2-0 swept from the way we've seen a lot of these matches go, especially with all 3 other monthly champions, Splice, Sway Esports, and the Dudes moving on after some close series, after we saw a lot from the Dudes beating Bread, and then we saw Sway Esports barely taking it over top of RBG. But we're going to get quickly back into this one. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 2v3 still, but we will have the match underway.
Well, I'm going to say right now, if they pull this out, if the boys pull this out, they have a forever fan in me. So right now, that's what's on the line. I don't care about the win. I just want to see them bring it home for Daddy.
Interesting terminology there, but I mean, if they do end up losing it out, upper 90 waits for them. Oh, wait a second.
Wait, they got their 3rd man back.
It's normal times possessing the body of his opposing player.
Is that against the rules? I'm not actually sure. We'll have to look that up, guys, to see, but somehow the spirit of normal times here. This 3-0 lead here for Afterthought, going to be something they just need to hold on. We've seen some great plays on defense from the boys squad, but unfortunately this may be too much for them. You see this pressure here coming for Afterthought. This is what happens when you're in an odd man situation where the team can kind of play a little bit loose as well. It's very easy with the passing plays to keep the ball away from your opponent.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about this critically. I mean, you're having such a good day on defense. Unfortunately not there. Trey trying to get that one away, accidentally setting his own net. But other than that, they've had some pretty solid defense this game. But unfortunately, with having a lot of solid defense means that you're lacking a lot on the offensive side. I mean, when you're thinking about this in that way, they're not going to have an outstanding chance to get on the offensive end.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate to see, but thankfully for them, no matter what, they got that lower bracket, and if I'm the teams down in the lower bracket, I'm kind of watching and making note of what the boys have done and thinking they're not necessarily a gimme. But you got to say, of all the 12 teams, all of them have a chance. That's what's so good about the Renegade Cup. All of these teams just so competitive. They've all just worked through several months of play just to get here. So you know that every team that's on the field is definitely good. So an unfortunate showing here for the boys, but still, they're going to be ready to rebound tomorrow, I'm sure.
And I mean, that's literally the gist of it. Just unfortunate, not even a bad showing. They were playing outstanding in games 1 and 2. Kept it close with Afterthought. Again, a team that made it to WSOE group stages, which is more than impressive, especially when you're considering the high quality of teams that played at the WSOE LAN. So even putting up a fight against this roster, regardless of the fact that Zolt didn't play on the roster that made it to the LAN, is incredible.
Yeah, and I know Afterthought, they're one of the favorites here as well. Coming out of that monthly, winning there in the Fall Frenzy, or no, I apologize, in the Whiteout there in December. They're one of the favorites as well. So, you know, this could have gone their way either way. They won that game 2. You know, they had a lot of momentum behind them coming into game 3. And don't forget they did get a lead early too. But yeah, either way, we will have a chance to see both of these teams again, and I don't think that anyone will complain about that.
Yeah, I really hope that for the boys, they don't get deterred by this because obviously, like we said, it's only misfortune that is causing this loss right now. A game 3 would have been really a toss-up between these two teams. I mean, would have loved to see it. Honestly, I might ask to see if they're willing to play an exhibition match just so that way I can have the closure of having finished the series personally. Because again, this is game 3, the second game 3 that we've seen all day out of 8 matches.
And, you know, I also kind of wonder on the other side if it wasn't just the boys that are somewhat cheated. For Afterthought, they don't know that they were going to win this game. Yeah. They legitimately got pushed to game 3. So you never know if Afterthought's actually going to take this game, and they kind of don't know either. But, hey, look at this. What do we got? We got a D-Bank goal. This is fantastic.
And by the way, we're playing last goal wins. So 23 seconds now, and no, I'm just kidding. Unfortunately, that's not how it
Squid,
works.
they're telling me in my ear you're not allowed to do that.
Okay, well, sorry, I was being hopeful. I wanted the Boyz to have a chance in this one.
They still got a chance. They got tomorrow. All of these teams do. So, you know, they're going to regroup. They're going to work out their, what I presume are connection issues and get normal in the game. The counter going to count down. Strictly a formality at this point, as Afterthought, they will cash their ticket into the winners semifinals with this win, and that means they're going to have a matchup against the Dudes tomorrow.
And let's think about this in this way, okay? Afterthought versus the Boyz. The Boyz lost their third game 6-1 in a 2v3, which is something that Triple Commit actually lost to Splyce 6-0 in a 3v3. So at least there's that. At least you can take that away from him.
It's true. They were able to get 1 goal even while only having 2 men on the field. So, you know, good on them to keep playing throughout that match instead of just straight quitting out. Unfortunately, they could not get a sub in as the match already started. But we will see them tomorrow, as you mentioned, facing off against Upper 90. And then Afterthought move on to face off against the Dudes, which will be in the winners semifinal tomorrow as well.
Yeah, just the matches and the matchups that we have starting to heat up. As you can see, looking at that upper bracket, all of our teams that won the monthlies have pushed now forward into round 3. So that consistency that they showed in winning those monthlies plays through here as well. So kind of what you would expect, but I think moving into tomorrow, we may really see some shakeups in the bracket.
Yeah, especially between Splyce and Sway Esports and the Dudes and Afterthought. So much action to look forward. What match are you guys looking forward to the most between those two?
Okay, well, the match I'm looking forward to seeing for, oh boy.
I like the Splyce Sway Esports matchup myself. I mean, Splyce just destroyed Triple Commit in that first game, but we saw it was much more competitive in that second game. So I think Sway have a real good chance against Splyce, even with Splyce going up in the RLCS next season.
Splyce looked too solid for me to predict for Sway this time around, but I feel that the Dudes are going to be a team to watch. Afterthought, we thought, like, oh, okay, yeah, impressive team. Like, their recent results speak for themselves, but the Dudes beating Bread 2-0 is more than enough proof for me to think that they might have a shot at it.
It's going to be tough to call, and we'll have to wait for that tomorrow. But we do have all the other teams that are waiting in the lower half of the bracket. The 8 teams who qualified off points alone. The Boyz will be faced off against Upper 90, Bread versus Lights Out. We also have RBG Regalia and Triple Commit versus Peeps. A lot more for these teams to play for, and it's going to be the first time a lot of them are being eliminated as well tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. It gets down to the real tough matchups tomorrow because that's when teams start going home as well. So, you know, pressure's still off a little bit when you know you have that second opportunity, but tomorrow that is all gone.
Yeah, and tomorrow, matches to look out for. For me, if you're not here for the RBG Regalia match, then you can show yourself the door because you cannot miss that. That is going to be the match to watch.
You could stay. I tell you guys, you could stay.
Yeah, you
can stay. All right, don't take my word for it. I'm a big meanie sometimes. So.
Yeah, that's going to be another great matchup to look for. Me personally, I'm thinking the Boyz and Upper 90, especially after how we saw them before. But we are going to be having to close the show. I'm sure you guys have been enjoying keeping along with the action using the hashtag Renegade Cup. We'll be reading through that after the broadcast, maybe replying to a few of those tweets. But it's been awesome to watch everything along with everyone, and I'm sure you guys have enjoyed. Any final thoughts before we head off and get into day 2 tomorrow?
Just that I'm so ready for day 2 tomorrow. I tell you what.
Bring popcorn. It's going to be good. I promise you, there are going to be good matches.
It's going to be another awesome day of some North American Renegade Cup action. I hope you guys have all enjoyed sticking with us throughout all the matches we've had today, but we'll be back for day 2 tomorrow of the North American Renegade Cup final. So have a good night, enjoy some popcorn, as Squid was saying, and come back with some more for tomorrow.